The #1 team in the land, the last undefeated Memphis and John Calipari hosting Central Florida. Boy, the Memphis Tigers, Doug, they can run, they can jump, and they are so athletic.
Yeah, their ability to get out in transition, they share the basketball. Seems like they actually like playing with one another. Maybe winning every game does that for you.
Coach, some say Memphis' weakness is shooting the outside shot. They had that going today as well.
When they got that going, they are very impossible to beat. They've been impossible to beat anyway, but it's their defense that keys their offense.
85-64 Big East. Seen on ESPN. Oh, the white suit.
You know what? If I were to accessorize that a little bit, I'd have gone with the bucket and the cane. What do you guys think?
Georgetown accessorized that early on. They own Louisville. Georgetown up 8 at the half. Second half, different suit, different team, Doug.
Well, the ability to defend and change the game. But when look, you're down at half, you got to change something up. You got to change the socks, change the mojo, take all the change from one pocket to the other pocket, and all of a sudden, the Cards woke up, getting the ball inside against the zone, and then Jerry Smith's ability to open up the lane for David Padgett, the fifth-year senior. Spectacular.
Coach, how big is Padgett? Hits the three here. Louisville on a run.
No question about it. I think it's
that black suit.
The black suit indeed made a difference, but Padgett passing the basketball.
I think that's the key to their offense. They get it inside, then everything goes from there. And, of course, Georgetown 4 for 22 from 3.
And Louisville wins at 59-51. You take a look at the numbers, and it is all about the suit. The Ville trailed 31-23 at the half. Different suit, different game. Every number was better for Louisville as they get a huge win at home against the #1 team in the Big East.
My suit was fine. I just spilled Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke all over it at halftime.
Oh, come on!
I went like this and went all over me.
So it wasn't a motivational tool.
No, it really wasn't. I kind of liked it, but it was bringing me bad luck.
Well, seeing exactly how they played in the first half when you wore it, when will we see that white suit again?
Kentucky Derby, first Saturday in May. Outside of that, never wear it again.
Duke back at home, though, hosting Boston College. And, you know, coming off the huge win at North Carolina, concerns, Coach, when you're hosting BC?
Absolutely concerns. I know every time we played New Hampshire, that next game was a war. Didn't matter who it was.
There you go. It's an oldie but a goodie. And Duke playing inspired basketball. They can shoot the basketball. We know that. The ball started to drop here in the second half. Duke led it 11-6. Final seconds of the first half, Gerald Henderson with the putback. Duke with 20 second chance points on the day. And in the second half, Tyrese Rice, Doug.
Oh, he blew up today. 28-7. Boston College is not very good, but that's not the fault of Tyrese Rice.
Later in the second, a three-point game. BC turns it over. It's Paulus at the other end. He gets a lot of criticism, but he's having an amazing year.
How well has my boy Greg Paulus been playing? You took the words right out of my mouth. Must have been when I was kissing you. But anyway, he's good. He can really shoot it. And Henderson goes to the rim.
Hey, should be noted, DeMarcus Nelson, 8 for 10, 23 points, 5 assists. Right now, ACC Player of the Year.
90-80, they win. Tennessee on the road at LSU, of course. Butch Pierre taking over for the Fire. John Brady, he was fired on Friday. How tough is that one day to prepare?
Very, very tough. You know, especially when you have no idea that it's coming, and everything changes when you're Pierre.
All right, 19 seconds to go here. We get a tie game on the inbounds pass. LSU very confused. They get to steal, Doug.
Well, how about that for a substitution? Juwan Smith hadn't scored a point the entire game. One sub, he gets the steal, gets what ends up being the game-winning bucket.
5 seconds to go. Chris Johnson somehow gets the ball inside the dunk, but no good. Take another look. The replay clearly shows the red light is on. The clock is at 0. The ball still in his hands. 7th-ranked Tennessee survives. And I do mean survive. 47-45. Tennessee now 21-2. This team in the Big East, UConn, looking for 7 straight wins, hosting Georgia Tech. Little ACC Big East tilt. Late first half, UConn down 6. Hasheem Thabeet, the offensive rebound, lays it up and in. UConn trailed by 4 at the half. Second half, a different story. UConn down 7 at this point. Jeff Adrian cutting to the hoop, Doug.
Well, the ability to find Adrian on the cut. I think just like the Memphis team we saw, when you start winning basketball games and you get guys like A.J. Price to hit shots, spread the defense, they like playing with each other. They like passing to one another.
Makes it a three-point game. Now it's inside the hoop. Thabeet again. Throw it down, Hasheem. Make a shot. 80-68. UConn goes on to win, and certainly the difference has been Hasheem Thabeet. 24 points, 15 rebounds, 6 block shots. Dramatic improvement from one year to the next. He's averaging more than 5 points a game, more than 1 rebound a game, shooting nearly 10 percentage points higher. And how about 25 percentage points higher? Notre Dame, the longest win streak in the Big East at home, 33 consecutive games. The last team to win at Notre Dame, Doug?
Marquette.
Marquette, thank you. Little delay there, but that just added to the energy of it. And a wild comeback here by Marquette.
Marquette was down 13, but they would not be denied as they tried to cut it close. Kubian with the big three, then Dominic James to the lane. Little timeout after the press.
Marquette down 3, 5 seconds to go. This is the shot they end up coming with. As you'll see, a steal here. Great opportunity in a one-point game. Herangodi ends up getting fouled. He would make the free throws, and that gave Marquette just one shot.
And again, great defense here by Jackson. Forces a long shot going to his left. Not a good effort by James, and losing cause.
86-83 the final. The home streak goes to 34 games. So the new Big East standings, and wow, this conference as competitive as any in America. Georgetown now tied atop with 2 losses with Notre Dame. Here come the Irish. Oh, by the way, Georgetown, great schedule. Notre Dame and Connecticut play on Wednesday on ESPN, so that's a game you definitely want to see. Let's jump out to the Pac-10 now. Oregon State taking on Stanford. Stanford really playing great basketball as of late, kind of under the radar, Coach.
Absolutely. Brook Lopez has been fabulous. As he goes, they go. Mitch Johnson, the point guard, has been brilliant as well, and they guard you. They really defend.
You ask for Brook, we give you Brook. The stuff inside Stanford by 13. Later second half, Stanford starting to pull away, Doug.
Well, part of it is how they space their offense. They take away the weak side help, and because you cannot leave Brook Lopez, it creates lanes all over the floor.
71-56 your final. Stanford moves on. Washington State, this boat has been taking on water, and what do they get? They get O.J. Mayo and USC in their building. Mayo on the break. Acrobatic layup gets it to go, but he was only 3 of 9 in the first half. Kyle Weaver, however, getting it done from a lot of different levels. Passes there to Robbie Caldwell. Weaver had 9 in the first half.
Cougars look like a different team today than they have in the last week or so.
They really slowed the pace of the game. They frustrated O.J. Mayo. And remember, O.J. had 29 against Washington. I think it was almost a bad thing because it became the O.J. Mayo show on offense for USC, and they got frustrated on defense, having to guard for long possessions against a gritty, tough Washington State club.
Tim Floyd thrown out of this game, arguing the call that Mayo was fouled on that play. Big win for Washington State as they pound USC. Oregon versus Cal.
Speaking of getting pounded,
some unbelievable three-point shooting. Tawan Porter hits the 3. Oregon by 10. Porter again for 3.
Everything changes when you're making threes.
Well,
when you make 18 of them.
Yeah. I mean, this is, you want to talk about a wild week? How about, this is the same team, Oregon, averages 80 a game, scored 43 at Stanford, couldn't hit a shot, could not miss at Hospital Pavilion tonight.
Now, Porter hit 7 threes in all. He had 28 points. Oregon makes a school record 8. Speaking of Kansas, taking on Baylor, and Baylor's no easy ride. Just ask Kansas, as Baylor came out on fire in this one. We're tied at 33. Brandon Rush on the break lays it up and in, plus the foul. He had 9 points. Take another look, Doug. How special is Brandon Rush?
I really like him, and I like the fact that he's improved every game playing on that knee that he tore up. He hasn't looked like he's tried to force things, and I think he's handling the basketball far better this year than he has in his career. 3-point
game. Kansas gets Baylor in transition, and isn't that their game?
Yes, it is, and Baylor did a poor job of stuffing to the middle there to let them run right down the middle. And when you do that, Kansas is going to blow you out.
And their big block shots. Kansas gets out and runs. Collins, 17 points. Arthur at 23. Kansas wins it 100-90.
Stat of the day, scored 100 points, didn't hit a 3, 0 for 9.
Wow, how about this game? Texas and Iowa State. Never easy to win at Iowa State. Very early on today, Doug said that he thought
Hilton
Texas
Magic. Learn the term, Hilton Magic.
Their hands full, much like I have my hands full. A.J. Abrams hits. How about DJ Augustine? He's a pro, Coach.
I really believe that. Just certain guys can do certain things, and the great ones get stuff done. Augustine is one of those people. Watch this.
62-62. Abrams, long jumper, rims out. We're going to overtime. He had 25.
Still, last possession of regulation. That's what I'm talking about. At least they got a quality shot as opposed to LSU.
Gary Johnson now going to the hoop, lays it up in at 64-62. I talked about being a pro. Watch the body control here. Works his man. Fadeaway jumper, gets it. Texas wins at 71-65. Their third straight come from behind win. Freelancing out here. That's some wild moves you got, big man.
As Billy Allen would say, who's your superstar?
See, here's one thing about Michael Beasley I think is underrated. He loves to get up in passing lanes, run through a pass, and then go finish. He really is an active defender.
He likes to dunk, too. He can shoot the three as well. Wildcats up by 7 at this point. But he's not alone. Billy Walker really starting to come on.
Billy Walker is a great player, great offensive talent, wonderful passer, and he might even be the glue with this team.
You know, we think about Beasley, we think so much power, and he is a powerful player, but Doug, he can stroke it.
Well, that's what makes him special. 6'10", can score with his back to basket, block shots, get in the passing lane, and hit the three. What can he do?
Michael Beasley recorded the 19th double-double of his freshman season. That's the most in Division I. He's 3 double-doubles shy of Carmelo Anthony's all-time freshman record. He leads the nation with 15 games with 20 points, 10 rebounds. He has 8 games. Might be not only the best freshman, the best player in the nation.
A little mea culpa game for both Tom Brennan and Doug Gottlieb.
Wisconsin. What were your pregame thoughts, Doug?
Well, you know, Wisconsin coming in 50-2 at home under Bo Ryan in the Big Ten.
What did you say? Just tell us what you said.
No chance.
Coach,
wrote it on ESPN.com.
You want to apologize first, Doug, or you want me to apologize?
Sorry.
2 freshmen.
Robbie Hummel, terrific.
2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and a junior starting on the road for Purdue. They went in and took care of business.
I mean, they took a punch. Bohannon hits a shot.
That was going to be my point. You know, here comes Wisconsin, cut it to a 4-point game, but every punch Wisconsin delivered.
Kramerica Industries. Yeah.
And Purdue come back, take the hit, and come back. And so certainly want to be there for that. Michigan State, and they look ahead against Northwestern. It's Craig Moore. He wants more, and he's got more.
Craig Moore.
But later, Michigan State up only 3. Drew Neitzel for 3. Spartans lead at 54-48. You think they looked ahead, Doug?
No, but you know what's surprising is normally they thump Northwestern.
Yeah,
normally
that's
the Princeton style. Yeah, normally the Princeton. No, I just don't think Michigan State is clicking on all cylinders. I really believe that. You watch them play. Neitzel hasn't been as effective this year. Suton's been kind of up and down. I think they're yet to fully hit their stride.
All right, 70 madness and wild games. None better than Vandy in South Carolina. Shane Foster. He can shoot it, Doug. He can flat out shoot it.
Especially when he's on balance. A.J. Ogilvy, the big freshman.
79% coming in, but he blows the front end of the 1-and-1. South Carolina takes it down court. Devin Downey, the reverse, lays it in. USC by 1. Dave Odom. Give it to me, Dave. That's Coach Cool. Jermaine Beal, though. Clock running down. Beal.
As Lionel Richie would say, Jermaine Beal allows the Commodores to sail on.
66-65, Vandy gets a monster win.
For the Commodores.
Georgia on the road in Florida.
You're so young.
In Florida, guys, I mean, let's be honest. They are a different team, home and away. We got up here.
Cookies!
And that's too easy.
Yeah, Wally Hodge with a couple steals. Also, Darren Warner, 7 steals in this game. It was defense turning to offense.
Florida turning you over and converting at the other end. Second half, Gators pulling away, up by 15. It's Spates to Alexa Pass, Walter Hodge again. And Hodge, one of the holdovers from those national championship teams, playing well.
I was going to say, I don't know how good the Gators are going to be this March, but next March and the March after that, they're going to be very good.
They get a 10-point win. Ole Miss and Arkansas. Speaking of how good they're going to be, do we know how good Arkansas is, Doug?
I think we're going to find out coming up. They go to Tennessee, to Mississippi State. Great energy playing at home at Bud Walton. And Mississippi kept this thing close. Chris Warren, especially, very active defensively. He was able to keep Ole Miss in this basketball game, but Arkansas seems to be coming on strong.
And John Pelfrey took over kind of a crazy situation, but he's a good old boy from down south, one of those Kentucky 5. He did a great job. He does a great job coaching his team.
75-69, Arkansas is 17-5. Speaking of Kentucky. They dug themselves a hole. Can they dig themselves out of that hole and get back onto the bubble, at least into the conversation?
Not going to be easy, but it can be done because they're playing very, very well right now.
Ramel Bradley. The ball stolen. Bradley gets it back, launches the 3. That's a no-conscious jumper. Kentucky led it 41-35. Pick and roll here, Joe Crawford, Perry Stevenson, and throw it down with 2 hands. Kentucky goes on to win 62-52. Kentucky games. How about North Carolina and Clemson? These two always seem to go to the wire. That would be the case again today. The freshman, DeMonte Stitt, hits a 3. Clemson led by 11, Doug, early on.
Led by as many as 16 in the second half, but back came the heels and back came Tyler Hansbrough.
Carolina down 7 at that point. Under 2 minutes to go. Danny Green with a huge three, Coach.
My name's Danny Green, and I'm a dancing machine.
Hits it, and Oliver Purnell, you just saw the look in his face. Boy, I've seen this before.
Amen.
But in regulation, Doug, Clemson continued to fire away.
Yeah, but you saw the last wide open three from Danny Green. They give him another open look. They weren't running back in transition off the press like they were earlier on in the game. And Carolina got this thing tied.
36 seconds left. Stitt 1-1 at the line, misses, so Clemson still only up 2. Quentin Thomas drives isolation off glass and in. We are tied at 82. 5 seconds to go now. KC Rivers for the win.
Pretty move.
No good.
Bad luck.
Clemson holds on to the basketball, but only .6 do not get a shot off. So we're going to overtime. Under a minute left in OT. Clemson down 88-87. Terrence Oglesby, the impossible three.
They got so many good looks early in the game. In the second half and in overtime, their offense became stagnant, and they really depend on luck shots to even send this to double overtime.
Carolina tied at 90, cannot get a shot off. We're going to a second overtime in double OT. Who does this remind you of, Coach?
Number 18 for the green and white, Dave Cowens, Boston Celtics superstar. And I think he'll be just like him in the pros.
Tyler Hansbrough just flat out outworking everybody else. Ellington to the hole, lays it up and down. North Carolina wins in double overtime, 103-93. Same song, same verse. Carolina at home hosting Clemson. First time it happened, January 15th, 1926. 5 years before Dean Smith was born. UCLA on the road at Washington. Never easy to win. UCLA has lost the last 3 years at Washington. Could they get a win? The junior, Justin Detman, hits the shot. But how about the outlet pass, Doug?
Unbelievable.
Really
I tried to do this at Valpo's gym. I hit the top of the key, and trust me when I say this, Ryan, I could throw an alley-oop pass on a dime. I did not have that in the bag of tricks.
Throw it down. Later in the first half, Washington down 2, but the Huskies hanging around.
Quincy Pondexter, a bit of a disappointing season, but good game, and I think this is a big story. The inability to contain Justin Detman. He feeds Appleby. Ryan Appleby, lights out when open.
Second half, Washington up 49-42, and once again, it's Detman.
Yeah, Detman really is having a great senior year. As Doug said, he's been kind of up and down, but he splashes that one and keeps Washington in control.
Yeah, Justin Detman's, he's been the star for 3 years here as a junior, and as good as Darren Collison was defensively at Washington State at home against Arizona, he was that bad today.
2:05 to go. Collison finally hits a shot. His first shot is a 3. Here comes UCLA down only 6. Under 50 to go. How about this play? Tim Morris can't inbound the ball. He just fires it off the face of Alfred Aboya.
This is absolutely unsportsmanlike conduct. I cannot believe that he was not teed up. I cannot believe he's not thrown out of the game. I mean, you talk about unsportsmanlike. Terrible.
Yeah, Washington able to survive that and get a win. John Brockman, a big game. Washington wins it 71-61. So we have seen this before. In fact, if you're a 4-year senior at Washington, you've seen your Huskies beat the Bruins at home every single season. So UCLA has had some problems there. Willis Reed knew a thing or two about the double-double, as does DJ White. It's Indiana at Ohio State. White, 14 of the last 18 games with double-doubles. Coach, how about the pass out of the double team?
Patience, good read, great passer. If your big man can pass the ball, it's a tremendous asset.
How about a rotation defensively for
Now here you are, Eric Gordon, Doug. What's the defensive thought process here?
You might want to pick him up. He has unlimited range. Didn't shoot great today, but unlimited range. Guard him when he steps off the bus.
19-16 here. White, again, just a monster underneath with the rebound and putback.
Can't coach a big butt.
Indiana led by 5. Later in the first, Indiana by 5 again. Ellis, long pass, Jordan Crawford. And how about that move? Spin to the bucket and in.
Check this out. Wait here. I'll be right back.
Yeah. He's still waiting. Indiana by 7. Second half now. Gordon wasn't great behind the arc, Doug, so decided to take it to the hole.
Costa Koufos got abused inside. By the way, this is pretty. A little 23-esque, but wait till you see him get dunked on later on. Koufos, though, got a little game offensively, that low block.
And it's still a close game here. It is a 6-point game. Koufos cuts it to 4. He had 18, did the freshman from Ohio State. Under 5 to go now.
A little high-low action.
Man among boys. White slamming home 21-13. Indiana wins 59-53. So let's take a look at the Big Ten. And surprise, surprise, surprise. Purdue on top at 10-1, followed by Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan State and Ohio State. That is a league that is up this year. Xavier, number 14 in the land, taking on St. Joe's. Josh Duncan wants 3, and he's got 3. We're tied at 62.
That's a guy 6'9".
Late in the second half, Duncan again, this time inside, Coach.
Yeah, he really is a good player. We had them against Tennessee. He was coming off an injury, but he's getting better and better and better as the year progresses.
Under a minute left, Xavier down 1. B.J. Raymond from St. John's in Toledo, Ohio hits the 3. Xavier would make their free throws down the stretch. They hang on to win it 76. The college game night, Arizona State and Arizona in the very tough Pac-10. Early on, Jeff Pendergraph rolls, gets the lay-in. Arizona State leads by 9.
Little screen, the screener. He sets the ball screen, little back screen. Arizona unable to defend the ball screen with Jeff Pendergraph all afternoon long.
Jared Bayless, Coach, are you serious?
He was a monster today. And you have to remember now, Arizona was up at home 22-6 and going out the door. Could not close them.
Again, ball screen. Glasser uses the ball screen. Pick, roll, no rotation. Hey, Chase Budinger, how about a little help? How about a defensive stance?
Very lazy defensively.
Arizona State, this is a game they
pick, slip,
worst kind of way. A game they needed to get, and they do get it 59-50.
To college hoops, bonus night of rivalry week for you. Scotty Reynolds and Villanova visiting 8th-ranked Georgetown. Controversial finish you need to see, but here in the first half, off the turnover by Patrick Ewing, Antonio Pena to Reynolds. Reynolds at 15 of the first half for the game. He was the only Wildcat to score in double figures. Corey Fisher, 1 of 16 from the floor. The miss there. Dwayne Anderson, though, there for the monster slam and putback. Then Roy Hibbert gets hot. Little jump hook in the paint. How do you do? Then a little drop step, power move, and 1. Georgetown up 5. Villanova went nearly 12 minutes without a field goal in the second half. For the game, they were 3 for 22 from 3 land, yet somehow this game remained close. Reynolds to the hole, tied at 53. Villanova, a chance for victory in regulation. Reynolds lost it. Jonathan Wallace picks it up, and what? Yes, a foul is called on Corey Stokes with 1/10 of a second left. Jay Wright can't believe it. You know what? I can't believe it. Wallace goes to the line, hit the first, hit the second. Hey, Jay, what about the call?
Was there some contact by Corey Stokes? Yes, there was. Was it a foul? I don't know. Certainly in that situation, though, it decided the game, and Georgetown won it at the free throw line with no opportunity for Villanova to answer. I think in that situation, a referee has to swallow his whistle because there was no advantage, disadvantage gained in that situation.
Georgetown made 16 field goals in the game, the fewest made this season by a Big East team in a win. All right, back to the boys now. Number 11, Texas, hosting number 3, Kansas. Football types in attendance. Mack Brown and Super Bowl champ of Texas alum Aaron Ross was at the game. You also saw Vince Young in attendance. Darrell Arthur, acrobatic layup. Arthur led KU with 22 points. Connor Atchley working the give and go with Damian Jones, and Atchley finished with a slam. He was 6 of 6 from the field, 16 points, under 4 minutes to play. DJ Augustine, just 1 of 13 from the floor, but James was there with the follow put-back dunk. Mario Chalmers coming off the screen, bangs home the 3, cut the lead to 2, 8 seconds left after making his first free throw. Augustine's at the line with Texas up by 3, misses. Russell Robinson pushing. You know it's going to Chalmers. The 3 for the tie. No, just off the mark. And Texas hangs on to win by 3. It was a 31-point blowout the last time 21st-ranked St. Mary's got through with Santa Clara. A little different story here in this one. It was a 2-point game in the second half. Now it's a tie game. John Bryant had 21 points and 10 rebounds. 2.5 left, still tied. Ian O'Leary the steal off to Patrick Mills for the lay-in. St. Mary's a 50-48 lead. Santa Clara down to 10 seconds left. Brody Angley just misses. And the Gales tie the Zags. First place in the West Coast Conference.